Okay, resume.
Okay, I'm going to entertain my audience by putting interesting footage in it. I can't entertain by showing them something and making it entertaining that way, although I can put interesting footage in it, like some archive footage. With the interviewees that I've got various ones which should make it interesting, different voiceovers to break it all up, and reconstruction footage that I'm planning to put in there to make it more exciting. I'm trying to educate my target audience through facts and figures, again, to make it show that they're very high and we need to do something about it, making people aware of it. It's also going to be a goal that young people can look ahead and set themselves that goal, whereas like to do something different maybe, obviously their own individual goal. From looking at the Radio Times, I decided that my documentary will be broadcasted on BBC Three.
That's what I was meant to say.
BBC Three, as given in my brief. My documentary will be shown on Thursday at 9:30. I looked at not many other programmes are showing at this time and not competing for the same target audience. The programmes that are shown before mine was How Drugs Work. Again, this relates to my target audience, so if we've got that first, and then mine, my knife crimes in the middle, and then after we've got EastEnders, so it's like a flow. The same target audience is going to watch it, but it's going to flow into the next programme. These are just some slogans that I found that I think are quite interesting. Lives, not knives. Respect your life, not a knife. Carry a knife and lose your life. Stop knives, save lives. Think life, not knife. Knives cost lives. My Kirsten Saunders. Thank you.
Thank you. Did you do the question separately or did you do the program straight after?
Straight after.
Do you want to?
Oh, like our feedback. Oh, right, okay.
Start, miss.
Yeah, I'll start. One of the key things that you said quite a lot at the beginning was that the purpose was to make the media like do more about knife crime. But is it the media's job? I didn't realise that's what they're supposed to do, because really the news media are there to just report on what happens. What are they not doing that you want them to do?
Well, they're not like, okay, so say last year they was really hard on knife crime, so they would show every little, every death that happened through knife crime. From now on, it's just like they don't show the little stabbings when people die. It's got to be like huge ones for them to show it on TV or put it in newspapers. If they make it a bigger issue, then more people are going to be aware that, oh my God, all these people are dying through knife crime. So,
Okay, so you want them to report more
report more
about
so
it.
that it makes you think, wow, how many people do die through it? Makes people more aware.
Okay, what about if we take the fact, not the fact, but the sort of issue of the fact that most crimes that are reported in the newspapers and on television do tend to involve black youths. So therefore, if we take that as a percentage of the population who are actually using knives actively on other people, not just carrying knives, how will that affect the representation and people's feelings towards black young men? Do you see what I mean? If they report every single person, it happens that quite a large percentage involve black young men.
That's the whole point of speaking and interviewing the media, someone from the media, because they do stereotype a lot. It's always a black man, I don't know, or a black teenage boy in a hoodie, in tracksuit bottoms, and they stereotype people like that. So again, that would be one of my questions as to them, like, why do they stereotype young black people to be involved with knife crime.
Okay.
It's not just like you hear about, I don't know, white youths.
So do you think that maybe what you need to do is actually find some more evidence about race and the relationship between race and knife crime?
Okay.
Do you see what I mean? And find out, that might be quite a pivotal point about your documentary, because it could go two ways. It could be that you find out that actually the majority of crime is committed by black men or black boys, and you might want to investigate why that is. Or you might find that that's not the case, but why does it seem to be the case in the media? That might be a slightly more interesting perspective than rather than just saying they should report more about it.
Okay.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe investigate that a little bit more. In terms of purpose, that's one of the main things that I thought. I don't know if you want to add anything, if you had anything else on purpose.
I think in terms of purpose and what you're intending to do, I think there's still quite a lot of bases being covered. For 5 minutes.
As in, like, I've got quite a lot.
There's too much going on.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of angles going on, because there's sort of like coming from the perspective that we want to make a difference, we want to fight a cause. We're also condemning the media's representations of knife crime, and I think there was a couple of other things in there as well in terms of your intentions, and I think they need to be narrowed down a lot, because you do only have 5 minutes, and I mean, even a half-hour documentary would probably only seek to explore one of those.
I mean, it might be that you just want to do it on let's twist the representation, why are there actually so many young people who have started their own campaigns against knife crime? You've found at least 3 on the internet, haven't you? You could just do it solely based on them if you can get the access to them. You know, that might be a bit more interesting than why people committing knife crime. That actually has been covered quite a lot in mainstream documentaries. So it might be, look at what are young people doing about what's happening in their own communities, or what are people doing as a much more grassroots, what's happening in people's lives, rather than general big statistics. You could just have one element like that. Because I think Sir's right, there's a bit too much going on, really. Abdi, have you got anything else to say in that section?
No, about that section.
Okay, do you want to bring in another thing then?
The people you're going to interview, are they like all one ethnicity, or are they diverse?
No, diverse. I mean, Eliza Ribeiro, I think she is mixed raced. There's Alexander Rose, who I'm trying to get in contact with. He's black, so different ethnicities in the interviewees as well. So that relates to my target audience.
Do you want to interview anyone that has like someone that's been a knife carrier before, who's been affected?
Well, I did think about it, but then I based it more on the media side rather than what youths think, or youth that's been affected by it.
Okay. I think in terms of your structure that you're going for, there's a couple of things there. At one point, when you were talking about Ofcom and reconstructions, and how you have to consider reconstructions and things, but you actually in your segments didn't talk about any reconstructions at all. So there's a bit of a... Wait there, let me start again.